You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 119 of the Battered Heat Fans podcast. I am your host, Daniel Gunnar, alongside me, as always, Mr. Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
Danny, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I saw the schedule and I got fired up because you know what the first thing I looked for was?
Well, it's funny you asked that because I was going to ask you what is the first thing that you look at when you see the schedule?
I got my shirt on, baby. Christmas Day. And we got one. We got a Christmas Day game at Boston on national TV. And you know, we were having this conversation last week on episode, I believe it was 112. And you don't just hand that type of game to a team that you don't respect. So all these people that are ranking the Heat 15th, SB Nation, I'm talking to you. The NBA just told them what they think of us. And I'm sure we're going to get into it now. And it's definitely not that we're ranked 15th because, like I said, you don't just hand out those Christmas Day games to just any team. And the NBA respects us. And I can't wait to get into it in a little bit.
We have the 10th most nationally televised games. So it's the Knicks and the Spurs, the Sixers and the Lakers. All four of those teams have 34 each. That's almost half the schedule. Then you got OKC with 30. Denver and Golden State have 28, which I was surprised that Denver gets that much. I know Jokic is big, but I don't feel like he's that big a draw. Boston and Minnesota have 27 each, and then the Miami Heat have 25. Those are the 10 darlings for the NBA. I believe those are the 10 teams playing on Christmas Day. I have to double check. But those 10 teams have by far and away the most, and I think that outside of maybe Golden State, uh, every single one of these teams are the teams that maybe the NBA is considering like these are our top teams, these are our top contenders. So yeah, man, I love the respect. I like that the Heat are gonna get nationally televised. Even though I'm one of those people that like to fly under the radar, I think it is all respect when you get a Christmas Day game. So I was really hyped about that, and then that's just like you said, the schedule dropping in general. So outside of Christmas Day, and if you're watching in the comments, let me know also. What's the first thing you look at when the full schedule releases? What's the very first thing that you look for?
I'm so glad you're asking me, man, because although I looked at the Christmas Day game first, the first game that I actually circled on the calendar I printed out with every single game was every single time that we play the Milwaukee Bucks. And that's because Giannis is going to be playing against his old team. And you know, like I know, that he's got something to prove
Yeah.
every single one of those nights. And those are going to
I
be
don't
personal
it
games.
wasn't it wasn't an ugly breakup though. Like it's like
It
sometimes it's
wasn't.
ugly breakups.
It wasn't, but you still know that he's gonna put a little extra into it just because it's his ex team. And so I'm telling everybody, man, mark it down. Um, I think he's gonna go off in at least one of those games. And when I say off, I'm talking about 45 points, 15 rebounds, 8, 9 assists. I'm talking about that kind of off. And then the other game that I circled on the calendar was opening night versus Minnesota, because that's going to be our first look at this, essentially this whole new roster that Pat Riley and Andy Ellisberg and Nick Harrison have put together for Spo. And look, I know it's a very tough first game, but I don't really care because that's what I want with this team. I want this team to
Absolutely.
play tough games all the time. And not only that, but I want to see what we've got right away. So, dude, I'm counting down the days. I think we're like 60 something days away from
It
tip
was
off.
70 on Wednesday, so it's 68 at this point.
It's wild, man. We're less than 2 months away from tip off, less than a month and a half away from training camps getting started. The season's getting here, man, and we're cranking out episodes. And I hope you're on this train with us because although we are the battered Heat fans, there's nothing battered about this podcast.
No, and nothing battered about this team anymore because this team it looks like it's ready to make some noise. Um, for those of you wondering, if you haven't, I'm sure everybody's already looked at for themselves, but November 18th is the first time we play Milwaukee at home, and the first time Giannis goes to Milwaukee to play as a road team, it is on January
I think it's January 27th, if I'm not mistaken.
28th, January 28th. So those are you happy that it wasn't opening night Milwaukee? 'Cause I know some people wanted that.
Honestly, I think the draw would have been bigger for the NBA just because of all the implications of playing your ex
Nah, I
team
don't
and
think
everything that
so.
happened. But
I don't think so.
I think the NBA got it right, man. I think you have, Anthony Edwards and
Mm-hmm.
LaMelo
LaMelo.
Ball and Rudy Gobert on one side, and on the other side, you're gonna have Bam and Wiggs and Giannis and possibly Clay and possibly DeMar, and we'll see who else the Heat end up signing. But I think the NBA got it right, man. I think it's gonna be one hell of an opening night, and I'm just lucky I got my tickets, man.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, all right. So I know that you said that you took a look, and I haven't had a chance to really get a good look at what our longest road trip or longest home stand is yet. I've kind of just uh, given it a look over. Do you have what the longest home stand and longest road trips are?
I do, man. I do. So there's actually two long road trips. The first one is in November, where they're gonna
Oh
go
wow! To
five
start
straight.
off,
Yeah, five straight out on the West, where they'll face the Lakers on the 2nd of November, the Clippers on the 4th, the Warriors in a back-to-back on the 5th, the Kings on the 8th, the Jazz on the 10th. All those games are scheduled for 9 or 10 p.m. on the Eastern time. So look, our longest road trip comes early, Danny. And then right after, you get five straight home games. You get Cleveland at home, Detroit at home, Houston, Milwaukee, and OKC. Um, you might get punched in the mouth out west on that home or on that road trip, but then you get to come back for five to recover.
nah,
So,
nah. Look at the
uh,
teams that you're playing. I mean, the Lakers. I don't know. I don't know what those guys are gonna look like, to be honest with you. But the Clippers, I don't take them seriously. Golden State is not what Golden State used to be in Sacramento. Nah, that'll be DeMar DeRozan's revenge game. We're good.
I don't know. See, the other thing that's good to mention is they do have a few home stands where they have four straight games. One of them being in December, where they face the Clippers at home, Sacramento at home, Chicago back to back on the 21st and the 23rd. That's another weird thing that the NBA is doing again this year. I don't know if you remember, but we did that with Chicago last year, and I believe
Hmm.
we did that with Toronto last year as well, where we played two away games or two home games against them, and they're doing that again against us.
Yeah, they're trying to minimize travel. So they've been doing that a lot over the last couple seasons, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all.
Look,
Uh,
the
I,
I will
Go
tell
ahead.
you one last thing. The toughest stretch of the season, Danny, comes in March. And that's where you're going to be facing a lot of contenders, because in March you have Denver twice, the Lakers at home, the Suns, Boston, and the Nuggets. That
Yeah,
is
Indiana also.
correct, correct. So, a tough 4 game home stretch in late March. One thing that worries me, and something that we've talked about this team in the past, is, could they have a great February and then it all comes crumbling down in March when they have to face these contenders? That's something that we've seen this organization do a couple of times. But yeah, I mean that's really all I wanted to mention about the schedule, Danny.
Or I don't know if you have the number because I'm doing it off the top of my head right now, counting it. Do you have how many back to backs we have this season?
Yeah, I can get that for you right now.
Okay, because right now I'm at 7, 8, 9. I think that's 10. I might have missed one. 11. So at 12. So just counting it myself, it looks like maybe 14, but I might have missed one because the way they color coded this schedule is kind of weird. But I think it's 14. 14 back to backs. A few of them on the road, but like nothing crazy. You know what I do like about the way the schedule kind of laid out? If you're fighting for positioning in the Eastern Conference towards the end of the season, this is how your month of April looks. You start April against Boston, which I think is going to be a contender. I think some people are for some reason doubting them, but they played well last year. I don't see why they wouldn't this year. Then you got Detroit, which defensively they're still going to be great. They'll still be a top team. Then you got Orlando, and that's a back-to-back. Detroit, Orlando, that's the back-to-back on the road. And then your last 3 games are all at home, which I think is great. You have Philadelphia, which is going to be a big-time game. Who knows what that means for positioning? You got Washington on the second night of a back-to-back, but a homestand back-to-back, which is Washington, and then you end the season at home against Orlando. So I like that you end the season with 3 home games.
I agree, man. I mean, I like that you start with a home game and that you get to end with a home game because you get to play in front of your home crowd, and you get kind of like that home crowd feeling, cheering you on in the first game and the last game, which I think are 2 of the more important games, especially at the end of the season when you're, jostling for seeding, something that we've been accustomed to over the last couple of years. So yeah, and I'm looking at the back-to-backs, Danny. I counted 14 as well.
Okay.
None of them seem like super tough back-to-backs, because like the first one is Detroit and then you have Charlotte. I think that'll be tough, but not super, I think it'll be doable. Then you have the Clippers at Golden State. Obviously the Clippers are not
you
what
don't
they
want
are.
the second night of a back-to-back to be against a tough team.
Now you do on January 19th and January 20th, you play Portland at home, and then they play at San Antonio on the 20th. So that could be a tough
That's
one.
rough. Yeah.
And then they actually have San Antonio again on the second night of a back-to-back in
Also, both San
February.
Antonio games are on the second nights of back-to-backs. Those are all things
Correct.
that people need to take into consideration when you're looking at that schedule. Okay, that's tough.
Yeah, they also played Toronto twice on the second night of a back-to-back, Charlotte twice on the second night of a back-to-back.
They have a home and home against Toronto. No, not even, no, they're actually hosting
No,
Toronto
2
2
home
nights in a
games.
row.
That's what I said. Just like
March
they're going to
2nd
be
and March 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah, just like they're going to be hosting Chicago twice, not on back-to-back days, but yeah, they'll be hosting Toronto twice in March. I mean, it's a weird schedule, but again, it just shows how much the NBA respects the Heat, that they're putting them within the darlings, within the top 10, like you mentioned earlier on the show, and giving them 25 nationally televised games, including a game on the NBC, NBA on NBC kind of broadcasting, and then one on ABC as well. So they'll be on all the platforms, on Prime, on everything. So I mean, dude, it's we're back, baby. We're back. I'm happy.
The last 12 games for the season, 7 of them are at home. That's good. A couple primetime games that I feel like are always like a big deal nowadays, but people don't talk about, is the night before the Super Bowl, and we don't play that game that day, which is surprising. The day before the Super Bowl is usually like a primetime game nowadays, because the Super Bowl this year is on the 14th of February, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I believe so, but they do play on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, which is horrible. At 1 o'clock against Brooklyn. So at least to give them an easy opponent. Oh, but that's the first night of a back-to-back. That's the San Antonio game we were talking about.
Yeah.
Nothing out of this world in this schedule. And now I did like that they gave us a Black Friday game. Black Fridays, traditionally, it's become an NFL day, but the NBA's jumping in on it also. And we got the Knicks on the road on Black Friday. So that's going to be fun also. Is that the first time we play the Knicks? Yes. When will the Knicks come to town? Because
they
that's
also
always
play
fun.
on Thanksgiving. I don't know if you noticed that, but the NBA is going to be doing Thanksgiving games this year, and the Heat play
They
on
don't play on Thanksgiving. They play the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh,
But actually,
it was the day
it's
before.
tough. The day before Thanksgiving, Philadelphia. The day after Thanksgiving, New York.
Yeah, those are NBA Cup games, Danny. In addition to a game against Cleveland and a game against Indiana, I mean, the Heat definitely have a very, very, very tough road to get to the NBA Cup playoffs. Going through a very, very tough road, starting with Indiana in earlier in November, and then you get Cleveland, and then, like you mentioned, Philly and New York. I don't know, man. We're gonna really see what this team has in the first couple months of the season if they can make some noise and get to Vegas for that NBA Cup. Is it in Vegas? I heard that they were going to change it.
As far as I know, yeah.
I don't know. I have a feeling that
Okay.
they changed it.
So I don't know if you remember last year when we started this show, we like really put an emphasis on the first 20 games. I remember we said if they end up 500 or better after 20 games, they'll make the playoffs. I think that's what we said, right? Or we said something that end up top 5 or something. And that was the emphasis that we put on it because we weren't sure where this team was. If you look at the first, and I'm just gonna list them down, right? Because I don't want to take too much time about it, but look at the first 20 or so games for the season, right? I'm gonna name off October, November, and then the first 2 games of December. This is rough. Minnesota, Detroit. That's a rough start to the season. Then Charlotte, which is soft. Dallas is supposed to be improved. Atlanta, people are picking to be better than Miami. Indiana will have Tyrese Halliburton, also people picking better to be better than Miami. Then you have that West Coast trip, one of the longest ones we have. The Lakers, the Clippers, Golden State, Sacramento, okay, Utah. Then we come back home to Cleveland, then Detroit, Houston. We got the soft Milwaukee game. I really do think it's going to be a soft game. Then we got OKC, Philly, the Knicks, Cleveland again, and then Atlanta. And then I still think that Washington, if they're healthy, might be pretty good. Like and you know what I think attribute this to though? I think the NBA's parity has improved because there's so many teams that you look and you're like, oh, that's a pretty solid team. Not a great team, but a solid team. It's not like before where you would just like look at half the schedule and be like, these guys suck.
I'm actually re-looking at the schedule right now, and I just realized they don't play on my birthday this year. They play the day before, they play the day after, and they play away. So I won't be able to watch them, any days before my birthday, and that kind of makes me sad.
Sometimes I like for it to be a road game where I don't feel like I need to be there for a day like that.
I know,
Like for
but
example, Christmas Day, a part of me wanted it to be in Miami, but then I was like, but it's kind of nice because I know that I can't make it, so I'm chilling at home on Christmas
no, no,
Day.
no. Christmas Day, let me tell you, Christmas Day is kind of a pain in the butt because you wake up in the morning, you want to open gifts with your kids, you want to do things with the family, and then you have a 2:30 game where you need to leave at 12:30 from your house to get to the arena 45 minutes before to be able to park and walk. Um, so I can understand the Christmas Day game, but the birthday game, there's no better way than celebrating your birthday out at the Casella Center, having a couple of drinks, having the Heat shout you out on the big scoreboard, and getting a high five from Bernie. There's really no better way to celebrate your birthday. And again, I'm just upset I won't be able to do it anytime around my birthday because they play away. It's that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Friday after Thanksgiving, and then Sunday after Thanksgiving. None of those games are at home. My birthday, fortunately for me, this year is on Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'm upset,
Oh,
man.
it landed on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the best, bro. It's the best.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's awkward. I don't know. So you guys cut a cake after the turkey?
Hell yeah. I don't even eat turkey if my birthday falls on Thanksgiving. I'm doing a
I
salad.
don't like turkey. I like ham.
Oh, ham is good, bro.
No, turkey's too dry.
It's not. It's not my
It
turkey.
really is. And
Mine's
no, don't do
juicy.
that. Don't do that. Everybody tells me the same crap when I go to eat somebody's house at Thanksgiving. No, this is different. This turkey is different. I promise you.
No, no, mine's not.
Always
I'm,
the
I'm
same.
not saying
It's
it's
dry.
different. I'm not saying it's different. I'm saying it's better. It's not dry.
There's different levels of dry is what it seems to be, but ultimately it's dry. It's like drinking red wine.
No chance,
All
man.
right. I think that's it. I think that look, uh the back to backs, not too bad outside of the San Antonio. The fact that we have them 2 nights on the second night of back to back, but outside of that, not too bad. I love the way we end the season. Um, I like that one of our longest road trips to the West Coast happens early on in the season. I do like that. And you know how professional athletes always say that those road trips kind of build chemistry and build camaraderie between them. I like that getting that out of the way early, and we're starting the season with uh, 4 out of the first 6 games are at home. So all in all, I mean, the NBA schedule, you're gonna play 82 games. You're gonna play the same amount of teams about the same amount of times. So nothing crazy that's gonna jump out at you, but I'm happy.
I'm happy too, man. Look, listen, whatever the rankings said, whatever we've talked about, whatever March brings that we talked about, it's going to be probably the roughest patch of the 26-27 schedule. Just bring it, man. Bring it. I'm fired up. I'm ready for the season to start. And the truth is that if you're a Heat fan, you should be too, man, because this is going to be one very, very special season as long as they can stay and maintain healthy. But if you guys can, do us a favor, drop a comment, tell us which game you guys are circling on the calendar. Is it the Christmas Day game against Boston? Is it the Lakers game in March on NBC in primetime in Miami? Let us know, man. Let us know. And also hit us up with a like, bro. Hit us up with a like. Tell your friends. Truth is, we're battered, but we're never beaten, Danny.
Usually, the Miami Heat play the Brooklyn Nets 3 times, and they play the New York Knicks 4 times. And from what I'm seeing here, this year we only have the Knicks 3 times. It looks like New York only comes to Miami once this season, which is on December 12th. That's another positive. You get to play Brooklyn 4 times. It's probably gonna be the worst team by far in the Eastern Conference.
I mean, I'm just glad I don't have to have those Knicks fans in the arena for more than one game. I mean, they're unbearable before they won a championship. Imagine what they're going to be like this year.
Well, it's December 12th, and the NBA Cup is on the finals on December 11th. So as long as neither one of them make it to the final or to Vegas at all, I guess that game should go on as planned. I don't know if they reschedule it if they end up playing, because I know NBA they play back-to-backs all the time. I don't know if it matters, but if they don't reschedule it, it's on December 12th. That's the only time that the New York Knicks come to Miami.
That's
yeah,
right,
man, because they do take over that stadium or arena.
Yeah,
All right.
they're like how we say in Spanish. They're like la mugre. They're everywhere. They're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. Legit.
All right, and then my last question before we get out of here. November 18th, that is about 15 games into the season. What are the chances that Tyler Hero actually participates in that game?
No, I think he's gonna want to be in that game, especially since it's in Miami. That's a game that he's gonna. And I'll tell you something. I'm not gonna clap for him. I will clap for Jaime Jaquez Jr. But after what Tyler Hero did at the end of the season, and basically what he did to Bam, he lost my respect. So I won't be clapping for number 14. I'll be clapping for Khalil Ware. I liked what he gave the Heat. I'll be clapping for Triple J. If Kasparis gets in, I'd be happy to see him. But bro, Tyler Hero can go flat kite.
All right, well, I think that's it. Let us know if we missed anything or if there's anything that stands out to you that we haven't brought up already. And yeah, man, I'm 68 days, less than 10 weeks, man. It's coming fast. So if you're listening on audio, appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars in a comment. If you watch it on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we'll be back in a few days with more news. And I think we should talk about this whole Bradley Beal thing, but I figure it's pointless to do it right now. So Bradley Beal is off the chart. So we'll see. So until the next one, go ahead.
Tomorrow's 6-7, Danny. Tomorrow's 67 days. 6-7.
What? How?
You said tomorrow is today's 68 days left. Tomorrow
Until the season. Oh. Yeah. My kids get embarrassed when I do that. So all right. So until the next one, have a good one.